What is up, everybody? Jarhead and Billy here with the Hollow Point Gaming team. We are bringing you the NEXAT mod, the newest DLC from Farming Simulator 25. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Appreciate everybody for being here. Go grab your snacks, your drinks. Let's get right into it. All right, Mr. Billy, what we got here? What we gonna do? What we gonna talk about?
Sorry about that. Well, this is the newest DLC, as everybody can see. I believe so. It's a multi-tool, I guess you might say, for farming. What'd you say this was? Is this the what was this one? Well, I'll start with this over here. So this right here is your header attachment.
Yeah. Okay. So this unit right here, the main unit, the main vehicle. This is the NEXAT pack. This is the NEXAT vehicle. 110 or 1100 horsepower, variable CVT, 1700 gallon gas tank, 15 miles an hour. It weighs 24.4 tons, and it has a singular attachment. Go into it, you can change whatever wheel you want with the BKT, Teleborg, or the Michelin. This beast of an equipment will run you $655,000. It does not have any other kind of configurations. You can only change the wheels. And then from there, we'll go into the seed hopper. Mr. Billy, if you want, go ahead and hop in it, come around here and hook it up. The hookup is on the other side. While you're getting it hooked up, I'll give the specs for this piece of machinery. So in the NEXAT, while he's getting it hooked up, in the NEXAT pack, you have the NEXAT seed hopper. It will require an additional tool to work. Whenever you go in, you can see that this is a 20,500 liter tank for seed and dry fertilizer. Let's see what we can hook up to this. So you hit C for customizations. Got a disc harrow, seeder. I believe this is, yeah, that's a planter. And then this is a plow. Get rid of weeds and whatnot like that. All of these are going to run roughly between close to 190,000 to 250,000, just depending on what you're wanting. Wingspan is 13.5 to 14 meters here on the cultivator. Again, these are all specifically for the NEXAT pack. They will work with this piece of machinery, the seed hopper. Mr. Billy's getting her hooked up here.
You want me to show let me show you how we turned it into this from what we were at?
Yeah, sure. All right, so
we'll go back to transport mode.
Yeah, it has two modes of work. Has the transport mode, as you see it's going into now. This is for transporting, moving down the road, going to the next farm, going to the next field, and then you can put it into work mode.
Work mode activated.
And it is 100% recommended. I don't think you can actually do any of the attaching or anything unless it is in work mode, but you drive it into it. And what's actually pretty cool about this mod is there's actually some holographic attachment lines that will help you guide into the piece of equipment to attach to. So it'll be right about there is where you'll see the lines pop up, and it'll give you some holographic lines you can't see from my point of view right now, but I'll probably show it off whenever I do the next piece. But you pull
Sometimes
into
it's
it.
a little touchy. I'm just waiting for the command for it to. Oh, here we go. Let me so it will automatically align.
Oh yeah, you're good to go ahead and attach it if you want.
I'm trying to get it
I
to
don't know
pop
if you were
up.
waiting on me or not.
We're still playing with it, trying to learn it. So just bear with us while we. I must be off alignment.
Can you walk under it? I may have told you wrong. It may have been on the other side. It is. It's on the other side. My bad. My bad. I told you the wrong side. I told you the wrong side.
Okay,
That's
I
my
was
fault.
like, okay. Well, that's how it's a new piece of equipment. Just came out today, so that's how it happens. Dude, this thing is wide.
Yeah, it's the other side. My bad.
Oh, it
This
happens.
side is the attachment side for the uh cedar and whatnot.
And it's really not an issue, but we played with it, what, 5 minutes
Yeah,
before we
we
started the
played with it for a
videos?
little bit before we started,
Yeah.
just to kind of get familiarized, and then we've got a field that's coming up ready here pretty soon to harvest, so we're gonna test out a little bit with the harvesting just to see how this piece works and how with the bucket system and everything, and just test it out.
Oh, I got it. There. Now it's
There we
attached to the machinery.
go. Alrighty, so it
Awesome.
is still in work mode. What I'll do is let's go ahead and get the cotton. We do a lot with cotton. All right, that was $250,000. Hey, Billy, if you want to run that thing over here, we'll have to
Okay.
run over some boxes.
Ooh, it's so wide. Let me. Now you can change the steering modes. I did see that earlier. You have multiple steering modes, so whatever you feel comfortable with, you can change that. Right now, I think we have it on rear steer. So
Some of these boxes don't work, or try to.
it's really not that hard to maneuver. You just got to be.
Your driver's side will be right here where I'm at.
Okay. It honestly is
First few
not that
boxes.
hard to drive. I was expecting it because it's such a big piece of equipment that it was going to be a real. Once you get and you use it and you figure out how the steering works, it's honestly not that bad.
Looks like it should just
Oh,
connect.
yeah.
If it doesn't give you the prompt, try to swing it around. I guess swing it around to the other side. I mean,
Well, I mean, technically, I think the little rolly things are in the back. So I bet
It's the
you
way
there's.
I guess it's the way the hoses are running is. Yeah, it's the way the hoses are running is which way I was thinking it would go. There you go. Can you back?
Well,
Are you able to back
yeah,
straight over it?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, I
I just got
didn't
to
know
get
that.
it.
I lied.
Should be able to. Once I get it lined up. There we go.
Close
Now
enough.
it's attached.
All right. So with that piece of equipment, we'll go back into the configurations. That is going to be our planter for all of the corn, sunflowers, I believe the sorghum, sugar beets, uh, soybeans, green beans, and corn. They're used for corn or crops like maize, sunflower. Oh, okay, that's maize. That's not soy. Soybeans. The tool requires a module in between and cannot be mounted directly to the carrier vehicle. So, but with the setup that we've got right now, we should be able to fill this with seed, fertilizer, drop this deck down, and we'll be good. We should be good to go. Yep, just like so.
There's the deck drop down.
We'll be planting cotton and corn and all the good things. All
And
right.
then through our little connector thing, it tells us we can open the cover. So this is opening the cover. The covers. Right here. This is closing the covers. Lowering the cedar head. Lifting the cedar head. Yep. So it's ready to work. All we would have to do is turn the cedar on, and we would start down through the field, just like so. Not that I'm going to turn it on, but you would turn it on. You would just lower it, turn it on, and then you would go right down your line. Now the question is, I wonder if you can use GPS with it.
That's what we're going
Let's
to test
try.
out whenever we get over here to the
Yeah.
harvesting. But let's pull that
That's
off to the
pretty much
side.
it right there.
Let's pull
This
that
is
off
your
to the side and
seeding.
we'll get this hooked up.
All right.
Now you'll have to drop the deck and then drop the cedar.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you have to separate them, don't you?
Yep. Yeah, you won't be able to drop that thing as a whole unit. Yes, I don't think so.
Let's
Where's
back up.
the
Let me try. It says detach. Let's detach it.
yeah, that'll drop that down. And just
Okay,
back
so we'll
straight
back
up.
up. We'll detach again. Back
I
up.
don't know, Billy, with how that sits. No. That ain't as wide. Alright. Wheel her in here and snag up this thing. Okay, the pickup for this side is this side. I did set that up.
Okay. And it has an auto align. When you
Yeah,
get close
here,
to it,
let me show that one off.
yeah, yeah. Here, show this one off. That way they can see everything I see. There you go.
Turn my tool tips back on. Alright. So as you come up to the piece of equipment, it will show off these 3D holographic lines just to make sure you're in alignment. If you're way too far off like this, the further you get, it'll actually change colors, saying, hey, you are definitely not alone. But it just helps you guide right into place. Once you're into place, it says that it's in place. They'll turn red if you're like way too far off. But Got her in here the best you can. Again, all right, there we go. Got it in the best you can. It is very touchy. Right. So this is your header side. You do have to have one of the headers. Real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and let Billy get the corn header here hooked up while we talk about the harvester piece of equipment. The harvester has it is the NEXAT NECO $318,000. This is your harvesting unit. Comes with a 32,500 liter tank, weighs 14 tons, 7 miles an hour when harvesting, and all-wheel drive, I believe, all-wheel drive. The only
There's
customizations
multiple,
you can
yeah.
do is the Trailborg, the Vardestein, and back to the Trailborg. That's the only thing you can do is the wheel brand. You can't change the wheel setup. You can't change anything about it. For this harvester in specific, you can hit C down here for your combinations to see what all it can go with. Of course, the NEXAT. These are compatible, and I think these are added with the NEXAT pack, but you've got the Griffin Hoff. This is your grain header and your corn header. Both roughly 7 tons, one attachment point, 15.2 meters on both, with a working speed of 7 miles an hour on both. Again, grain header, corn header. No customizations whatsoever on the grain header. And the only customization you can do, and I believe the only reason for this, is the mod. With the colors, the extra colors and whatnot. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I think you should be able to add your own colors. Just for this video's sake, we did go with black, just to make it keep it clean, just make it look good. Mr. Billy's got her hooked up here for us. This
So
thing. Where's that pickup truck? I left it over there. Hold on. We're gonna show this thing off now. Let me get the truck. Just in comparison of how absolutely large this is. We had it parked in the front whenever we started, but just in comparison to just a regular pickup truck in the game, dwarfs it.
That's
It's
huge, man.
absolutely
I mean,
huge.
that's now the cool thing about it is, like you said, this is work mode, so this would be in the field.
Yeah, let's see that thing go into transport mode. So whenever you get this thing hooked up back at your base, back at your homestead or whatever you got, your industrial area, wherever you park, once you get it all nice and hooked up how you want it, so you're going to go do some corn harvesting or some sunflower harvesting, you can fold your header, and then you can go ahead and put the whole unit itself into transport mode. So once it goes into transport mode, it will actually lift the header up, and then it will drop the tires back to the ground, and then lower the header once more. I believe you can also hit to unfold the header once more, and it will actually straighten it'll straighten the cones out while it's on the unit without having to.
Let's see. So we got enable. No. Because that's not it. No, I don't see one.
Here, let me see it.
Here, you try it. I might have skipped it. There you go. What did you push?
The unfold header and fold header.
Ah, okay. Okay.
So
So we're gonna
it
go.
makes it just a little bit straighter, but once you unfold it, you can't you can't undo it. But yeah, that's it. That's the cord header on it.
Yep.
The only way you'd be able to get rid of it now is you'd have to completely, you cannot lower the header like this. The only way that you would be able to do anything from this point is you would have to change your tool to enable the work mode. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it back in. I'm gonna leave it back in transport mode. But you have to put it into work mode, and then you would be able to disconnect or whatever you needed to do. So, but all right, we're gonna run over here and we'll get started on. We've actually got a day or two. We're gonna do some other work on the farm. Whenever it gets time, we're gonna knock out some sunflowers with this thing and show that off. So we'll be back with you guys shortly. All right, guys, you know the drill. It's that time of the video. We're gonna do the driver of the week. This week's driver of the week during the recording of this video is me, myself, and I. While taking the tractor back to Mayhem's, I hit apparently this rock that's hanging out here, but the stop sign rolled this thing, caused a major shutdown in traffic. Had to have Mr. Billy come help me get it out. But yeah, back to the video. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are finally here, December the 1st. We've made it. The sunflowers are finally ready to harvest. So we got a wagon ready. We got the harvester ready. We're gonna show this thing off for a little bit. We're gonna see what it does. Billy, you ready?
I'm ready.
I think I'll start it off. And then,
Start your
well,
driving
I'll let
so
you.
can see.
I'll do some, and then I'll let you do some.
Okay. Yeah, you start it off because that way everybody can see what
So
goes
first
on.
things first, got to get this thing into work mode. Put some lights on the subject. All right, got to be in the work mode. So then press O to bring the pop out. That will bring our pipe out from the back to the side, or to the technically the front of the vehicle, but in work mode it's technically the side. So we'll go to the front. Let's go ahead and lower the header. We can turn said beast on. I just wanted to get that extra little piece right there before we started the rows. All right, let's see how this works with the GPS. So we got the steering assist. Again, we're working with a working width of 15.3 meters. That is 0.1 meter shorter than what we are going to, or what our actual header is. That way we're not missing any lines. You can go up as long as your field will cover it. You can actually raise the number of headlands. Pro tip, not really pro tip, semi-amateur pro tip. I like to raise the number of headlands instead of having the longer rows. But yeah, you just get everything set up, ready to go. You start your run. UPS line should kick in. There it is. All right, go ahead and attach to the line. Activate my cruise control, and I'll be back. I'm just kidding, I'm still here.
Kind of curious to see how much it holds.
It holds a lot. It's got a pretty big tank. You can enable the straw swath with this, so I'm interested to see how that works, especially on like wheat That way we're actually putting straw down. Does it put it in one row or does it put it in two rows? Because there's actually
Look,
two outputs down here on the bottom that are spraying the straw out. So
so maybe it makes double rows.
I'm kind of interested to see how that works.
I am too, actually, because that would be two rows in one swipe, basically.
Close to our edge here. We're going to hit the pop just a little bit. My OCD is going to kick in. I've got to take care of these pieces.
Oh, I'm with you. Don't worry. You're already there. You might as well take care of them. I would almost say you could turn that thing in a 360 with the way that the steering works.
I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. Get this last little piece right here. Nope, I got a rock that's going to block me. Okay. Guys, if you're going to use this piece of equipment, make sure, without a shadow of a doubt, that this will fit in your area of work. Don't buy this piece of equipment thinking that this is going to be, the biggest problem solver, because it is a large piece of equipment. You need space to work with this thing.
Yeah, this is meant for extremely large fields, 100%.
Like even with this field, I was kind of skeptical that the cabin was going to be too far out, that I was actually going to be hitting these pillars for a minute.
Right.
That is a large working area. Let's do it while we're cutting up. Let's do some comparison here. So let's do a harvester. Let's do the Case AF11 20,000 liter tank. 20,000 liter tank. 20. So in everything in the harvesters, you're looking at 20,000 liters. Let's go and make sure we're not running out into the road. With this, you're looking at, where'd it go? A 32,500 liter tank. You are getting 12,500 extra liters of tank space based off of just this harvester alone. I don't know. Whoever plowed this field, I'm gonna take them. We need to have a talk. I'm gonna blame Scott.
Even though he's on a cruise ship.
Yep. He wasn't here, but he's getting blamed. So honestly, it wouldn't be the worst idea in the world just to come in and trace that line. Just a wee.
Yeah, now, back in the day, I'll tell you a map, and I'm not sure if it's out for 25 yet, but I'll tell you a map, and I don't know if you played on the map or not, but this thing would be a lifesaver on the map, the Texas map.
Big Texas.
Yeah. This thing would be a lifesaver.
Oh, we're head on into a tree. I knew that was going to happen. I was over there painting I was painting lines. Make it a
Oh,
little bit,
was it?
make it a little bit
Well,
nicer. I'll run Billy
but
over real quick.
yeah,
Ah,
a big field map like Texas, other maps, uh, it would it'd be a lifesaver. Your smaller European maps, not
a
so much.
nightmare. An
A
absolute nightmare.
nightmare. This is I don't know where this was developed at, what country it come from, but I'm gonna say they probably have some pretty big field. Now, let's say money wise while we're doing this. So the machine itself was what? What'd you say it was? Six
Um,
hundred and something thousand
655,000 and then
each module.
318,000 for the harvester. And then for the
For the
grain or for the corn header, it's 182,000. So
okay,
you're
so for
well
those
over
two,
$1 million.
okay,
Not well
that's not
over, but
counting the
a smidge, a little over $1 million for this setup right here. What we have cooking right now is $1 million piece of equipment that is just doing corn style crop.
corn. It does uh, corn, sunflower. That's $1 million setup right there.
I will say, I do like the very, uh, being able to turn it or back it up and
Right.
turn it just a little bit easier. That's not bad. I like that.
I was expecting the turning to be atrocious, and but once you put it in work mode, like I said, there's multiple ways you can make it turn. So I think we have ours what rear steer.
Yeah,
I
there's
think
rear
there's a
wheel steering.
crab. Yeah,
You can change it to all wheel steering and front wheel steering. We've been using the rear wheel. We'll test out the all wheel. Let's test out the all wheel for a minute.
I would imagine that's gonna make it pretty much turn on a dime.
The rear wheel was nice to be able to turn the back end, to bring the back end
Mm-hmm.
around.
Yep.
The let's see, let's actually try the front wheel steering just for a second. We'll get to the end here. So I just finished this row. I'm gonna stop right here. If I want to turn here, it would turn, pretty much line up where I need it to be and go. So
That's
put it
is
back
that
in.
the rear wheel or
No,
front wheel?
that was the front. All right,
Oh,
so
okay.
with the all wheel, it
It's
doesn't want
pretty
to.
much.
I don't
Go
know.
ahead.
It's kind of the same. It's kind of
Looks
the
like to
same.
me like the front wheels underneath your cab right now, they're turned, but it's actually doing like a 360. Like
Yeah,
it's got a setup like the front wheels are permanent, even though they're turned, so it'll make the turn. The side that you're see like those stopped, and then you're actually moving the. It's like a almost like a solid point, and you're doing a 360.
yeah. I don't know. It kind of feels the same. I think maybe the all wheel feels a little bit more quicker,
Right.
if that makes any sense.
Right.
It
Put your
feels a little
pipe out there and
easier.
let's put your pipe out there and we'll offload and see what it's like. See how close you actually got to get to that cab to offload. That's not bad. Not no more than you would be. And you're so high that
Yeah, I was gonna say you could actually go out just a little bit further too.
yeah, well I bumped you. But it's been a while since I drove beside and unloaded.
I can't drive in a straight line either.
I can't. Well, once I get my groove.
Come to a stop here.
Is that it?
No, I
Nope, that's
got a
what it
little bit
does.
more.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're just touching
All right, so
tips.
it's somewhat. Of course, this is a huge tractor. So if you had a smaller tractor just doing the drive by side, it wouldn't be nearly as bad. This is a monster of a tractor itself.
I see Tony's big cotton fields already. I wonder if he's gonna make us do that next week.
Probably.
Probably.
But yeah,
Well,
I mean,
we ain't got much of a field left. You wanna test out? You wanna try it out?
yeah, I'll try it out. I'll try it out. I think the ladder needs to be a little.
Jump. If you want, throw that. Yeah, get your GPS line hooked up. It should still be hooked up to what I had it on.
It is.
Throw that
It
pipe
is.
out, and I'll go along with you. There you go. That's what she said.
I'm gonna have to get my next line.
So, dude, I can't drive in a straight line either.
Okay, the GPS works with it. I mean, everything seems to work at least in our server. So I mean, it's all right. So let's say because this is 15. Would you say 15-meter header?
15.4
Other than the
meter.
capacity, yeah. Other than the capacity, really, we're not necessarily doing a wider swipe, if you will.
It's still it's still
Really,
the biggest header in the game
that's true. That's true.
on both the corn and on the corn header and the green header. Still
That's
the
true.
biggest header in the game, but that's what you get
I'm
when
trying to
for
look
$1
at
million.
yeah, that's kind of what I was looking at, trying to see weigh the benefits with the pros and the cons to see, would spending $1 million really benefit you? You know what I mean?
Um, I mean, I like the way it turns. The handling is kind of mid.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Um,
And I really don't think that if you were thinking about transporting it, because it doesn't, like you said earlier, it was not fast. It's not fast. Of course, it's a humongous piece of equipment. I don't think, me personally, there is a lowboy or a trailer, if you're looking at transporting it, that it can fit on.
I mean,
I don't know. We've not tested it.
retrospect reality, in all honesty, you're paying $1 million to have the biggest headers in the game right now, and 12,500 extra liters of tank space on the harvester itself.
So this is
the biggest
the
harvester.
largest piece of equipment in the game.
Yep.
But with that being said, like you said earlier, you better have a decent sized field to be able to operate it.
Yeah, honestly, how the cards played out for things actually just being ready, it played out nicely for it to be this field and sunflowers. So we could show it off a little bit. Let's try.
So let's do pros and cons. You think it's worth the money?
I think it's worth the money to have the biggest, especially when you're in the later game where you can afford this kind of equipment. Like you know, we've worked, we've made our money. I think it is worth it to have the biggest harvester in the game, to have the biggest header in the game. Saves us time. Do I think it's worth it compared to what else is in the game? Probably not. I think you can still get your money's worth with just a regular a general header. I think you can get your money's worth with a general harvester. You're losing out a little bit here and there, but
so you don't feel like even 12,000
that's a lot.
capacity?
It's a lot. But I don't know. That's me personally. Everybody has their own opinions how they play.
Sure.
And what
Sure.
you have a field that you need this for? Is it going to work good on your farm? You know, you gotta take a lot of that into consideration, and we have
big enough fields for it.
Yeah,
that would be my number one.
Do you have a big enough field that it's like, hey, I just bumped the piss out of you?
That's okay. Yeah, I think it's a great mod. It's a Giants DLC mod. It works. It's a great mod. I'm glad to see that they put it in the game for people that have a bigger map, you know, with bigger fields like the one we spoke of, or other ones that may come out. $1 million is a lot of money. Yeah. Now, some of the bigger combines, they're not exactly $1 million, but they're 600 and something thousand in comparison. So I don't know, but it does turn good.
You're still spending, you're definitely still spending a lot of money on other equipment that is, you know, not as large.
Right.
But cons, it's finicky. It's finicky. It's strange. It's strange to drive. It feels weird to drive. Or storage wise, you know, you can't just, if you are wanting to take the header off, and if you're wanting to swap out the harvester for the cedar or the planter or any of that nature, you do have to pretty much drop everything, or potentially buy a whole nother NEXAT unit vehicle to be able to run it all, or which and heck, at that point, at that point you might as well just go ahead and just get a seeder on a tractor or something. But I mean, to each his own. But
I do like
to be able to drop the harvester and whatnot, you got to take the header off, and then take the harvester off, and then put the seeder on, or put the plant and seed unit, and then put on your plow or your cultivator or whatever for that unit.
I do like now me personally, I like the fact that it's modular, because if you sit and think about it, and there may be other things come along, you know, um, later on once this gets established, other things may come along. But I kind of like the modular. You can you figure you spend $1 million just on this setup. Let's say
Yeah.
you spend another 500,000 on the planting setup, but that's one piece of equipment, and you can get rid of two or three.
I see that now. I like that. I
You
get that
know,
now.
uh, you could supplement one piece of equipment for, let's say, just talking, say, three pieces of equipment, and use one, especially on your larger field.
I see that.
You know, so I like the fact that it's. I never was much of a modular person, as far as taking this piece of equipment off, but I see where this could take place of, now that I've actually used it, looked at it, fooled with it. I can see where it could take place of multiple pieces of equipment.
I do like that now that you mentioned that, because there for a long time I was doing the exact same thing, using one piece of equipment for everything, just using a singular tractor for everything, um,
Right.
or having to. But then we got that Kinsey planter that takes out the cultivating and the plowing. Um, that was a game changer.
Yeah.
I love that.
Especially for you, because you used one tractor and had how many implements for the one tractor that you were doing? So
Like 5 or 6.
yeah.
It was mulching, cultivating, or I'm sorry, mulching, plowing, cultivating, seeding, seeding and fertilizing, uh, and then rolling. So I had 5 implements that I was doing, and yeah, that was and
Okay.
on all of the, let's see, I was
Now
doing that on this field, these 2 fields, and that field. That was
so
that was a killer.
so is there not a sprayer also that goes with it?
Um,
I thought I saw in the pictures a sprayer or a tank.
so the seed hopper will do it will seed and fertilize at the same time. You can hold
Okay.
it has a
Right.
dry fertilizers, rock fertilizer, and seed. Um, you have the disc
So
harrow, the cultivator. You have the cultivator. You have the
okay. So there's
seeder,
one
which is a
piece of
seed
equipment.
crop.
That's two. That's two pieces of equipment.
You have the planter, which
There's
does
three pieces of
the
equipment.
corn and sunflower style, and then you have a plow that
Four.
goes with it. Well,
Four pieces of
actually,
equipment.
it's a hoe, but
Yeah.
it's a plow. Let's not
There's
get it twisted.
4 pieces of equipment you can do with one. Now you got to buy the inserts. You know what I mean?
No, no, not even. Well, I mean, you have to buy that
The
cedar.
heads. Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to buy the heads, but they mount up and attach to the cedar slash planter unit.
So right there, just on that one piece of implement that slides in, you've got 4 different things that you replaced. Now you got to buy the heads. You know what I mean? Now when you're going from, I've noticed this, going from one row to the next row, it turns pretty much on a dime.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, we just did
That
this
one
whole
side of
big,
steering is nice.
yeah. Uh, we just done this whole entire field, which is not a small field, in what, 15 minutes
Yeah, it ain't been that long.
real time? It ain't been that long.
Mm.
I mean, we're gonna have to make probably, well, when we get down to the skinny part. I like it. Um, if I had big fields, like I said before, and I've
And
said
the
this
money to
already,
and the money to spend on it.
and the money to be able to buy what I needed. If I had like big fields like Texas map, or big fields like other maps that are huge fields, I could see owning it. I really could.
I don't think it's
I
bad.
could see
I
where it
think it's
would
pretty
be a
decent.
benefit. I do too. I think it's a great DLC. Um, uh, uh, Now it would take some getting used to changing out the modules, but it's just like anything else in the game. Once you use it enough and learn the steering and how it works, you know, this is pretty. Well, here's an example. We put it in the game. We played with it 15 minutes trying to figure it out. Uh, we showed everybody what it had, what pieces of attachments. We literally went from testing it, looking at it, playing with it, to doing a field. That's how easily it is to catch on. Once you figure out your steering, once you figure out,
How
how to
to hook
put your
everything up.
hook everything up, it's been easy breezy. I mean, we just done an entire field in
20
less
minutes.
than, let's say, 10 minutes. So I think it's a win. Now, like I say, the cons, it's very expensive. But really, if you work your way and get the different inserts, if you will, that's what we'll call them, inserts with the heads that you need. You can do that over time. You probably get rid of some equipment that you don't need, some implements that you won't need after owning it. I think it would be worth it. So, but the biggest thing I have is, if you're going to get it, and I've said this already, but if you're going to get it, make sure your fields are big enough to use it. Don't be on some European map where the roads are narrow. Not saying you can't. Not saying you can't do that, but it's going to be a little bit more of a pain, I feel like. Just my opinion.
Yep. Yep. She looks good.
I like it.
I'm gonna run these over here to the drop off, and I'll be back with you here in a minute.
All righty.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it is about that time of the video. We are going to go ahead and call it here. I want to say I appreciate everybody for coming, hanging out with us, checking out the NEXAT DLC pack from Farming Simulator 25. If you're interested in any of the DLCs, any of the, or even the game itself, check out our link down in the description. It goes toward helping us with the Giants program. We definitely appreciate all the support from our fellow HPG members, the whole community as a whole, and you guys, the viewers. We would not be making these videos if it wasn't for you guys. So we're gonna keep doing what we're doing. You guys keep doing what you're doing. Show up, hang out with us. This is a video that's earlier in the week. We understand that. We are going to continue to try to get our every video out on Friday. This coming Friday should be the mods review or mods that we are using on the farm part 2. So if you guys are interested in that, go check out the YouTube link. Will be down in the description. Oh wait, no, never mind. You're already on YouTube. All right, we'll see you guys later.